That was one hell of a debate last night.
Yeah, it was a fun time, huh? You know, they actually asked me to be a moderator, but I said no.
I don't think they did.
Actually, I'll interrupt you right there. Fact check, they did. They did ask me to be a moderator, but I thought, you know, I had a few other more important dinner plans that night, so I just...
No, I don't think... I think they would have asked me before you.
I'm gonna have to fact check you on that, and I'll follow it up with this question. I'll give you 60 seconds. Do you believe people are allowed to be the color brown and black? Do you believe in the color brown and black? 60 seconds to you.
You would be a good moderator.
Thank you so much. It's time to save America! Check it out, I'm an eagle! Ah! America! Woo! Die, commies! Well, on Tuesday night, I saw the craziest thing I've ever seen on television. It was over an hour of the fakest woman in the world who can't stop lying and a giant bumbling monkey who can't articulate words very well. I'm talking, of course, about Chimp Crazy, the newest documentary on Max. And if you enjoyed Chimp Crazy, check out the sequel, which just released this past Tuesday, The Presidential Debate. It's basically the same exact story. They can't survive without each other, but they should definitely not be in the same room together. One needs to be kicked out of society for the amount of damage that she's caused, while the other should just be released into a former president's sanctuary in Florida to live out the rest of his days eating taco bowls in peace. And if we let them continue to live like this, someone will get their face ripped off. Tuesday night's debate featured former President Donald Trump going up against the current Vice President Kamala Harris, AI-generated moderator Lindsay Davis, and the ambiguously human David Muir. Let's take a look at how this matchup played out.
Stand down. Hey! What did I just say? Belt up. I see you. Back up. Okay. Good. Charlie. Stay right there. Good.
Now, with so many incredible moments to choose from throughout the 90 minutes of weird tangents, false claims, and delicious word salads, here are some of my top moments from the night, starting with this flex from Kamala.
I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney.
Yeah, take that, Trump. We got a warmonger on our side. You might have the police unions, but guess what? We have the literal devil. How are you gonna fight fire with fire against the fires of the underworld? Look, I don't know what's more incredible. The fact that the Democratic Party has evolved to the point where bragging about Dick Cheney's support is normal, or how no one is asking why Dick Cheney, Lord of War and character inspiration for Gru, is voting for a Democrat instead of the guy who oversaw 0 new wars. I guess because their answer would be, who cares? Come on over, Dick. We're having a Kamala 2024 rally tonight with performances by P. Diddy and R. Kelly and an opening prayer from Scott Peterson. Ghislaine Maxwell sends her love. She'll be there in spirit. Now, Trump won the most important category of presidential debates: one-liner insults toward Joe Biden. First delivering this one.
Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here,
threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
Now, we've actually fact-checked this statement as mostly true. For more, let's go to our in-house fact-checker.
That's correct, Comrade Pella. However, there are some moments when Hunter's dad is in fact conscious of his own existence, mainly when his assistant reminds him to breathe periodically throughout the day.
Now, Trump had a few more Biden digs coming just moments later.
I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. The president of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill.
So let's go back to our fact checker for a bit more clarity on these statements.
Now, saying Biden needs to be woken up at 4 p.m. infers Joey would be sleeping at 4 p.m., which is factually untrue, as Joe Biden's official waking hours are 1 to 5 p.m. He is presidentially petrified at all other hours of the day to preserve the few neurons that remain inside his brain. So because Biden is already awake at 4 p.m., having a late dinner at that time, this in fact is another Trump lie. Back to you, Brent.
Now, presidential debates are fun because every time the moderator asks a question, it's another opportunity for the candidate to answer that question with information that has absolutely nothing to do with that question. Now, one of my favorite moments of this was when Kamala got asked a question about her policies and answered with an unrelated story about her background and upbringing. Zero mention of her positions. And I know this was one of the first times she's ever been asked a question by another human, but I just wasn't expecting an autobiography, you know? Like, imagine doing a job interview and someone asks you a question about your work experience and your answer is like, yeah, I've worked retail before, but let's be clear, okay? I was born to a single father who gave birth to me from his man womb on a boat traveling from Egypt to Narnia, okay? While I was hiding below deck as pirates tried to capture me. Now let's be clear, okay? I am a relatable human being. I have the same values that my father instilled in me during our regular brainwashing sessions as a teen. And now, as an adult she/her, I am proud to pledge to the American people that beautiful words and vague language can help inspire hope, because something is definitely happening, okay? During all of the moments, let's be clear, that we look forward to in our new way forward, okay? Which isn't backward, because the reverse of forward would get us nowhere. And that is where he wants to take us, okay? He wants to go backwards, okay? But my forehead is forwards at all times. So to answer your question, I bestow upon thee my leadership, okay? Let's be clear. As president, let's be clear, okay? Of the states within America. He's bad. Thank you. It made sense if you don't think about it. And lastly, Trump's closing statement, which was the most negative, angriest 2 minutes I've ever heard spoken by someone out loud, aside from what my girlfriend says to me after sex. Watching Trump's closing statement made me feel like I was watching a Dementor suck out my soul. Okay? If you haven't read Harry Potter, a Dementor is a ghost-like creature that feeds on human happiness. They often look like this, or this, or this. See, America's biggest issue with these two candidates is that one is so artificial that her blood type is turf, and she's running with a lack of plans that identify as actual plans. Meanwhile, the other candidate is so full of anger that he literally can't end on a high note. He didn't have it in him to end with anything positive. There were zero happy endings to this debate, which is probably why Robert Kraft didn't watch it. I had to take a 3-hour shower after watching the debate just to get all the bad vibes off of my body, and I still feel like something's not right down there. Although I did just get back from Burning Man, so it could be that. Our savior of the week this week is a media outlet that is doing its absolute best to bring you the hard-hitting truth that you need as an American to feel proud and comfortable and safe in this country. And no, I am not talking about Pornhub.com. I'm talking about Time Magazine. For their recent article defending processed foods, we thank Time Magazine for maintaining balance, okay? It was starting to seem like too many people were waking up to how terribly unhealthy processed foods can be, so we're grateful to Time for stepping up to the plate of canola fried potato chips and taking this stance. Look at the title of this article, Why One Dietitian is Speaking Up for Ultra-Processed Foods. Yeah, one! They found the one. You can find one person speaking up for just about anything. Right now, there's a guy in Boise, Idaho speaking up about why intimate relationships with potatoes shouldn't be shamed. And there's one person in Sacramento, California speaking up for the overlooked health benefits of a Four Loko plunge. That's a cold plunge with Four Loko, which yes, has some benefits, but does not deserve a mainstream magazine article. Now, Time dropped this story just 2 weeks after Robert F. Kennedy came out with his extremely selfish mission to make America healthy again by reducing our consumption of processed foods, among other initiatives. Now, the conspiracy theorist inside of me wants to believe that Time is so corrupted by its support for the Democratic Party and its connections to the big food industry that they'll publish completely misguided articles at the expense of Americans' health if it means keeping Trump out of office. But the realist in me believes the same thing. We actually got a peek at the next few headline reports from Time, including the mental health crisis. Is it really that bad? Fentanyl, maybe just have a little. And Dick Cheney, terrible for America or pretty chill guy once you get to know him? Hey, thank y'all so much for watching. This has been episode 3 of the show that is guaranteed to save this country. I look forward to seeing you next week as we try to laugh our way through this madness together. My name is Brent Pella, and you're welcome for my service.